Hello and welcome, all staff aspirants. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you tuning in today. You're watching your favorite channel, your one-stop destination for cracking DSSC exam. Today, we're diving into June Part 3 current affairs, crisp, relevant, and designed especially for all the staff aspirants out there. But hey, before we begin this exciting journey through facts and figures, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that like, share, and subscribe button right now. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Because each video brings you one step closer to your dream. These questions are not just random facts, they're carefully curated to give you the edge in your exams. So, stay tuned, stay sharp, and let's kick off with June's top current affairs, Part 3. Let's get started. Before we jump into question 1, one important announcement. This Sunday, we'll be hosting a live test on current affairs, exclusively for all staff exam aspirants. The test will be fully based on patterns and topics asked in actual staff exams. So, if you're serious about your preparation, this is a golden opportunity to test yourself. Make sure you revise all the PDFs and current affairs videos we've uploaded so far, whether you're preparing from our content or any other source. Join us live this Sunday from 1000 HRs to 1300 hours. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and show up ready. Let's see how well you've prepared. Alright, no more delay. Let's jump into the action. Here is question number 1. It states, Operation Sindoor marks not just a retaliatory strike, but a doctrinal shift in India's strategic posture. Critically examine the evolving nature of India's security threats in the context of collusive adversaries. What reforms are necessary to recalibrate India's defense preparedness, strategic doctrine, and national security architecture? To answer this, let us understand the first part of the question. Understanding India's evolving threats, we will use the mnemonic TRIANGLE. T, two-in-one front threat. Operation Sindoor has shown that India faces not just a separate adversaries, Pakistan and China, but a collusive threat where Pakistan provokes and China enables. Our recurrent provocations. From Depsing, 2013, to Galwan, 2020, to Pahalgam, 2025, India faces regular, pre-planned aggression. It's not random, it's strategic distraction. Invisible Chinese hand. China's help to Pakistan in areas like satellite imaging, electronic warfare, and drones shows a new kind of war. One you don't always see, but feel the effects of. Asymmetric and hybrid warfare. It's not just guns and missiles anymore. It's cyber attacks, fake news, and terror networks, all used to attack India internally. Nuclear backdrop. Pakistan hides behind its nuclear weapons, making it harder for India to respond strongly with conventional forces. Geopolitical encirclement. China's string of pearls in the Indian Ocean plus Pakistan's growing Islamist alliances is equal to India's encirclement is real and strategic. Legacy and lack of doctrine. India still doesn't have a clear national security strategy, NSS, so we respond to crises, but don't prevent them. Economic military synchrony. China supplies weapons, funding, and technology to Pakistan, creating a seamless threat web around India. Alright, let's move to part 2 of the question. Part 2. Reforms India needs now. Mnemonic STRATEGIC. S. Security Doctrine. India needs an official national security strategy, NSS, to unite military, diplomacy, and intelligence under one vision. Theatre commands reform. Army, Navy, and Air Force must work jointly, not in silos. Integrated theatre commands are key, but with flexibility. Our research ecosystem. Establish a world-class Indian National Defence University, INDU, for strategic studies and military innovation. Atmanirbhar Bharata with agility. Instead of just slogans, India must accelerate indigenous defense production, especially dual-use technologies. tech for cognitive warfare. Counter fake narratives, propaganda, and cyber COPs with cognitive warfare units and strong social media strategy. E. External engagements. Use diplomacy smartly. Build ties with Taiwan, support Tibetan autonomy, and deepen Indo-Pacific alliances. G. Ground posture. Don't just defend, dominate. Use forward deployment, real-time surveillance, and preemptive denial strategies. I. Intelligence modernization. Integrate satellite, cyber, and human intelligence into joint threat fusion centers to prevent surprises like Galwan. C. Civil-military fusion. Strengthen decision-making by embedding military experts in MIA, NSA, and PMO. Avoid delays during crisis. Now, get ready. We move to question 2 next, which states, the recent shutdown of land ports for apparel imports from Bangladesh reflects the intersection of trade policy and regional geopolitics. Critically analyze the implications of this decision on India-Bangladesh relations and sub-regional connectivity. Suggest a way forward to balance strategic interests with economic cooperation. Let's answer it in the same way as we did it earlier. Part I. Implications on India-Bangladesh relations. Mnemonic STITCH. Just like the textile industry, the issue is delicate and interwoven. S. Strategic signaling. India's move is more than just about trade, it's a geopolitical message to Bangladesh. It reflects concerns over Dhaka's growing ties with China and trade imbalances with India. T. Textile trade disruption. Bangladesh's garment industry, one of its biggest employers, relies on land ports for fast, affordable exports. The shutdown hits small and medium exporters the hardest. I. Investor instability. Sudden policy shifts send a negative signal to foreign investors in Bangladesh. It raises doubts about predictability and policy continuity, which are key for long-term investments. T. Trust deficit. This abrupt step can deepen diplomatic distrust. Bangladesh may feel cornered, straining an already sensitive relationship. C. Connectivity setback. Land port closures disrupt sub-regional trade routes that pass through India to Nepal and Bhutan. This hurts the very idea of a connected South Asia. H. Hindrance to Northeast development. Ironically, India's own Northeast region is affected. Delays, supply disruptions, and rising costs. The move intended to support domestic industries may hurt local traders and small businesses. So you see, when trade gets stitched into geopolitics, it can easily unravel delicate relationships. Now moving to part 2 of the question, which is about part 2, way forward. Mnemonic RESET. Because the region doesn't need a rupture, it needs a reset. R. Restore bilateral dialogue. Resume platforms like the Joint Consultative Commission, JCC. Bring trade, transit, and security to the table openly and constructively. E. Evaluate strategic concerns transparently. India should clearly communicate its concerns about China's presence in Bangladesh, but do it via diplomacy, not trade retaliation. S. Support sub-regional institutions. Strengthen BBIN, Bangladesh Bhutan Indianapol, and BIMSTEC to handle trade disputes institutionally, not impulsively. E. Enable balanced trade. India should focus on reducing the trade deficit through better market access, simplified regulations, and support for small traders. T. Transition with soft measures. Instead of sudden bans, use phased policy changes, give businesses time to adjust, and offer capacity-building support. Wrap up for question number 2. In a nutshell, economic ties are the bedrock of regional peace. But they must be managed with strategic foresight, not sudden shocks. Now, moving to question number 3, which states, India surpassing Japan to become the world's 4th largest economy reflects the success of domestic reforms and global realignments. Examine the key factors behind this economic rise. What challenges must India address to sustain its trajectory and realize its goal of becoming the 3rd largest economy? Let us answer in same part-wise as asked in the question. Part I. What's fueling India's economic rise? Mnemonic GROWTH. Because this is what India is showing to the world. G. Global realignments. With China plus one gaining traction, global firms are moving supply chains to India. India's neutral foreign policy has made it a trusted destination for investment amidst global geopolitical shifts. R. Reforms and governance. Big domestic reforms like GST, IBC, Bankruptcy Code, and PLI, production-linked incentives, have boosted business ease. Digital India has added speed, transparency, and inclusion from Aadhaar to UPI. O. Output expansion. India's GDP has more than doubled from $2 trillion in 2014 to over $4.19 trillion in 2025. The services sector and rising domestic consumption are key drivers of this surge. W. Workforce and demographics. India's young population is powering everything from startups to tech unicorns. A demographic edge few countries can match right now. T. Trade and investment. India has seen a steady rise in FDI and has signed smart trade deals. Investor confidence is higher than ever before. H. Heavy infrastructure push. Mega initiatives like Gati Shakti, Bharatmala, Sagarmala, and freight corridors are transforming India's connectivity and logistics landscape. So yes, from reforms to realignments, the growth is real. But staying on top is harder than reaching it. Moving ahead, Part 2. Challenges India must overcome. Mnemonic STABLE. Because long-term growth needs a stable foundation. S. Skilling deficit. Millions join the workforce yearly, but lack industry-relevant skills, especially in tech and advanced manufacturing. T. Trade balance pressure. Despite strong exports, imports of energy and electronics are too high, risking macroeconomic stability. A. Agricultural stagnation. Nearly half of India's population depends on agriculture, yet the sector suffers from low productivity and rural distress. B. Bureaucratic bottlenecks. Red tape, delayed approvals, and regulatory uncertainty still slow down business operations, especially for MSMEs. L. Labor market rigidity. A majority of jobs are still in the informal sector. Formal job creation is not keeping pace with economic growth. E. Environmental concerns. Pollution, water shortages, and climate risks could derail sustainability goals and urban health indices. So while the rocket is lifting off, the launch pad needs reinforcement. Part 3. Way forward, smooth ascent to top 3. 1. Go deeper on reforms. Land, labor, and taxation still need overhauls. 2. Skill the workforce for AI, automation, and Industry 4.0. 3. Invest in green innovation. India's growth must also be sustainable. 4. Improve center-state coordination for smoother policy execution. 5. Balance speed with stability. Don't just grow fast, grow wisely. So viewers, India's rise is not an accident. It's the result of consistent reforms, strategic diplomacy, and a young, driven population. Let's keep the momentum going. On to question 4, which states, the development of the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, AMCA, reflects India's strategic push towards defense indigenization and technological self-reliance. Critically examine the strategic, technological, and operational significance of the AMCA project. What challenges does India face in its implementation? In this question, also first we will discuss about Part I, Strategic Significance of AMCA. Mnemonic INDIA. Because this project is all about India's rise in defense autonomy. I. Indigenous capability boost. AMCA is India's leap into the elite club of nations with fifth-generation stealth aircraft. It slashes dependence on imports, aligns with Atmanirbhar Bharat, and boosts strategic autonomy. N. National security upgrade. The AMCA will replace aging fleets like MiG-29 and Jaguars. It enables deep strike, air dominance, and precision targeting essential for future conflicts. D. Deterrence posture. Facing threats from China's J-20 and Pakistan's JF-17 upgrades, AMCA offers stealth advantage. It strengthens India's position in a two-front war scenario. I. Industrial growth. Massive opportunity for aerospace ecosystem development. Involves defense research and development organization, Hindustan Aeronautica Limited, ADA, and opens the door for private sector participation, MSME integration, and research and development jobs. A. Alliance reshaping. Once operational, AMCA could make India a defense exporter of high-end platforms. It enhances India's clout in Indo-Pacific partnerships like ITU-2, Quad, etc. So strategically, AMCA is not just a jet. It's a symbol of India's vision to fly solo at max speed. Part 2. Let's talk about tech and operational significance. Mnemonic STEAL, because stealth is its signature. S. Stealth technology. Designed with radar-absorbing materials and internal weapons bay. Reduces radar cross-section, essential for penetrating enemy airspace undetected. T. Tech-integrated avionics. AMCA will feature ASA radar, AI-based battle management, and sensor fusion. This gives 360-degree situational awareness and multi-target tracking. E. Engine performance and supercruise. Twin-engine platform with supercruise. Flying supersonic without afterburners. Increases range, fuel efficiency, and quick strike capabilities. A. All-domain role flexibility. The AMCA isn't just a fighter, it's a multi-role platform. Performs air superiority, ground strike, EW, and recon all with one airframe. L. Lethality and survivability. Modern fly-by-wire, digital cockpit, and network-centric warfare integration. Gives pilots a tech edge and ensures mission success even in hostile airspace. In short, AMCA is a flying computer with wings and teeth. Part 3. Let us see about some challenges India must overcome. We will use mnemonic DELEVI because that's the biggest threat to this ambitious project. D. Design and development delays. Developing a 5th-gen stealth jet is hugely complex. Risk of delays as seen with Tejas light combat aircraft. Timely testing, validation, and certification will be key. E. Economic and funding constraints. Requires long-term capital infusion, but defense budget pressures and competing demands can limit that. Budget must be stable and sustained for the next 10+ years. L. Limited private sector integration. HAL and DRDO cannot do it all alone. Need to onboard private aerospace firms, startups, and MSMEs to speed up research and development and production. A. Access to critical tech. Key technologies like engines, stealth coatings, and actuators are hard to indigenize. India is partnering with G for engines, but true self-reliance still a challenge. Why? Yield and scale issues. Even if design succeeds, production speed and quality will be tested. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited history shows slow scale-up. Industrial ramp-up must be robust. So what does AMCA really stand for? Not just a fighter jet, but a flying flag of Indian innovation, ambition, and autonomy. Coming up next, question 5. Which states India-Japan maritime cooperation has evolved into a cornerstone of their strategic partnership in the Indo-Pacific. Examine the strategic, economic, and environmental significance of the recent maritime agreements between India and Japan. What are the key challenges that both nations must address to realize the full potential of their maritime partnership? Part I. Why India-Japan maritime ties matter. We will understand with mnemonic SEEI. Because when India and Japan collaborate at sea, the world sees the impact. S. Strategic convergence. The Indo-Pacific is the new geopolitical chessboard, and India-Japan are natural allies. Their cooperation supports free and open Indo-Pacific FOIP, and India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative IPOI. Japan is backing smart island development in Andaman and Nicobar, key to India's strategic projection. Together, they help counterbalance China's naval assertiveness in the region. Economic upside. Japan is investing in Indian ports, shipyards, and blue economy ventures from Imabri shipbuilding to port logistics in Andhra Pradesh. This complements the ambitious 3.2 lakh rupees crore bilateral investment goal. It's not just strategy at sea, it's real money in harbors and shipyards. Environmental collaboration. Both countries are developing green islands in Lakshadweep and Andaman with Japanese ecotech. Port digitization and clean energy systems align with Maritime India Vision 2030. This partnership isn't just profitable, it's sustainable. Innovation and employment. Joint research and development in green shipping, autonomous vessels, and dual-use naval tech. Japan is hiring Indian seafarers, already 1.54 lakh trained. There's scope for tech transfer and skilling Indian youth in marine technology. Part 2. Challenges to unlocking full potential. Mnemonic, TFGP. These are the knots that need untying. Trade imbalance. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, hasn't fully delivered. Japan's non-tariff barriers make it hard for Indian goods to enter their market. FDI constraints. Despite strong ties, Japanese FDI in India remains below potential. Policy delays and execution hurdles discourage deeper investment. Geopolitical divergence. India maintains strategic autonomy, while Japan leans closer to the West. Different positions on China and Russia sometimes cause friction. Diplomatic alignment is strong, but not perfect. Project delays. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project shows the problem. Delays and bottlenecks hurt credibility. Similar execution risks may affect maritime projects too. At last, we can say that India-Japan maritime ties are strategic, economic, and sustainable in nature. But to unlock full potential, they must fix the 1. Trade imbalance. 2. FDI underperformance. 3. Geopolitical decade. Part I. What is BharatGen? BharatGen is India's first government-backed multilingual AI model, a large language model, LLM, built for India, by India. Developed by IIT Bombay's TIH Foundation under the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber-Physical Systems, NMICPS. It supports 22 Indian languages across text, speech, and image formats. It's more than a chatbot. It's an engine for inclusive governance and tech empowerment. Part 2. Why was BharatGen launched? Mnemonic, DIGIT. D. Democratize AI access. Make AI tools available in local languages, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, rural India to urban hubs. I. Innovate region-specific solutions. From rural health diagnostics to vernacular e-governance portals, BharatGen enables custom AI for every community. G. Ground AI in Indian ethos. Indian context, values, and idioms are often missed by global models. BharatGen changes that. I. Inspire homegrown talent. Promotes AI startups, research, and open innovation in colleges and tier-2 cities. T. Train AI for the underserved. Brings AI to the Bharat First layer, the real India that speaks Bhojpuri, Tamil, Kannada, Assamese, and more. Part 3. Key features. Mnemonic, Email CS. M. Multimodal capabilities. It's not just text. BharatGen processes voice, visuals, and written inputs essential for telemedicine, edtech, and e-governance. I. Indian language training. Supports 22 languages and dialects, trained on regional data for high accuracy. L. Local empowerment. Helps rural teachers, farmers, and officials access knowledge in their own tongue. C. Collaborative model. Government plus academia plus startups plus students is equal to inclusive innovation ecosystem. S. Scalable utility. Already being adapted for scrums, grievance redressal, rural telemedicine, and NEP-aligned edtech tools. Part 4. Significance for India's future. Mnemonic NECTAR. N. National Tech Push. Powers India's Techade vision, a self-reliant digital economy. E. Education transformation. Boosts NEP 2020 by integrating AI into humanities, languages, and civic tech. C. Cultural relevance. Understands Indian expressions, metaphors, and local knowledge systems better than any Western model. T. Technological sovereignty. Reduces dependency on foreign LLMs like ChatGPT or GPT, securing India's data and digital freedom. A. AI for all. Ensures inclusivity, no one left behind because of language or literacy. R. Research and innovation catalyst. Opens the door for indigenous IP creation and academic, industry AI partnerships. To conclude, we can say that BharatGen is not just India's answer to ChatGPT, it's India's voice in every voice. It's how AI becomes Jan Bhagidari, people-powered, people-first, and proudly Indian. Now let's move to question number 8, which states, directed energy weapons like Israel's Magen mark a paradigm shift in modern air defense systems. Critically analyze the operational advantages and strategic implications of combat laser technologies. How can India adapt such innovations for its national defense? Let's break this down and see how combat lasers are redefining the future of warfare and where India stands in this race. 1. What is Magen? Friends, Magen, or Shield of Light, is Israel's first combat-ready laser defense system. Developed under the Iron Beam program by Rafale Advanced Defense Systems. Recently deployed to intercept Hezbollah drones, proving lasers are no longer sci-fi. 2. Operational advantages of laser weapons. Mnemonic MAGEN. M. Minimal cost. Only approx $5 per shot compared to $50,000 per Iron Dome missile. Cost efficient for high-volume drone swarms. A. Accurate targeting. Uses optical tracking and precision beams to neutralize threats with zero collateral damage. G. Ghost mode. Fires silently and invisibly, perfect for stealthy defense without detection. E. Expedited response. Destroys targets at light speed, ideal against hypersonic missiles, UAVs, or mortar fire. N. Next-gen AI. Integration. Built with auto-detection, threat prioritization, and AI switching to kinetic weapons if lasers fall short. 3. Strategic implications. Mnemonic LASER. L. Low-cost defense. A game-changer for budget-conscious militaries needing 24/7 protection. A. Asymmetry reversal. Turns the tables on cheap drone warfare. Fight low cost with lower cost. S. Shift in warfare. Redefines air defense from projectile-based to directed energy paradigms. E. Export potential. Boosts Israel's global standing as a pioneer in defense exports. R. Resilience building. Supports multi-layered defense systems, improving survivability in saturation attacks. 4. India's adaptation strategy. Mnemonic DEWS. D. Domestic R&D boost. Speed up DRDO-led laser programs like Aditya, vehicle-mounted laser, Durga 2, 5 to 25 kW for drones and missiles. E. Enterprise synergy. Involves startups, DPSUs, and academia to co-develop miniaturized, modular DU units. W. Warzone testing. Pilot laser systems in controlled zones like LOC for drone interception, Andaman and Nicobar for naval trials. S. Space and naval integration. Integrate DUs into INS warships for anti-drone naval defense, UAVs for airborne laser engagement, satellites for optical surveillance and space deterrence. दोस्तों, Combat lasers like MAGEN show that beams, not bullets, may define the next era of defense. For India, the path forward is clear. Build, test, integrate, and lead in indigenous energy-based warfare tech. Now, let's move to the last and final question of this video. That is question number 9, which states, building integrated photovoltaics, BIPV, can redefine India's urban energy landscape by transforming structures into power generators. Discuss the advantages and challenges of BIPV technology in India. What policy and design innovations are required to mainstream BIPV in urban development? Let's break down how BIPV can revolutionize Indian cities and what challenges we must overcome to make it mainstream. 1. What is BIPV? Mnemonic SEAM. S. Solar plus envelope. BIPV fuses solar tech into a building's skin, walls, windows, roofs, turning real estate into clean power hubs. E. Envelope integration. Think solar glass facades or solar tiles that replace, not add on to, building materials. A. Aesthetic appeal. These panels come in various colors, shapes, and transparencies, preserving architectural design. M. Material substitution. They replace traditional tiles, glass, or facades, offering function plus beauty in one layer. 2. Key advantages of BIPV. Mnemonic PASSED, and BIPV has passed the sustainability test. P. Passive cooling. Semi-transparent panels reduce heat gain, cutting down air conditioning bills. A. Aesthetic flexibility. Designed to match urban architecture without looking industrial or out of place. S. Space efficient. Perfect for dense Indian cities where roof space is scarce, vertical walls become power plants. S. Savings, long term. While upfront costs are high, lifetime electricity savings make it economically viable. E. Energy generation. Generates on-site clean electricity, reducing demand on the grid. D. Dual role. Acts as both building material and solar generator, saving materials and energy. 3. Major challenges. Mnemonic CAPED. C. Cost barrier. BIPV is costlier than traditional rooftop solar and facade materials. A. Awareness gap. Builders, architects, and even citizens rarely know about BIPV's benefits. P. Policy deficit. No targeted incentives, standards, or mandates yet exist for BIPV in urban planning. E. Early planning missed. Often added late. But to be effective, BIPV must be built into design plans from the start. D. Dependence on imports. India lacks a strong BIPV manufacturing base, making us dependent on foreign tech. 4. Strategic significance for India. Mnemonic USER. U. Urban solar potential. India's dense cities could unlock over 309 gigawatts of solar potential through vertical spaces. S. Sustainability goals. Aligns with our Paris Agreement commitments and renewable targets. E. Energy localization. Generates power where it's consumed, reducing transmission loss and grid pressure. R. Resilient infrastructure. Fits right into smart cities, Amrit, and net zero carbon city visions. V. What's the way forward? Mnemonic DISC. D. Design integration. Mandate BIPV in new building codes, smart city plans, and urban layouts. I. Incentives. Subsidies, PLI schemes, or tax credits for BIPV adoption in commercial residential sectors. S. Standards. We need BIPV-specific BIS norms and performance testing protocols urgently. C. Capacity building. Train architects, builders, city planners, and inform citizens to scale adoption. Finally, we can say that BIPV isn't just a solar tech, it's a design philosophy. If India mainstreams BIPV through smart policies, planning, and public awareness, we can build energy-positive cities and transform our urban skyline into a solar ecosystem. The future isn't just about rooftops. It's about walls, windows, and whole buildings that generate power. Thank you for joining us in today's video, part 3 of the June Current Affairs series. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with daily high-quality UPSC content. Do mark your presence for our upcoming Sunday live test on current affairs, a great chance to revise and assess your prep. For more details, check out our community posts or feel free to reach out to us on the number provided below. Until then, keep watching our videos on current affairs and military history, best viewed sequentially for maximum retention. All the best and keep learning. Jai Hind.